High in the Ural Mountains of Soviet Russia, a chilling mystery unfolded in 1959. The Ural Mountains, known for their rugged beauty and harsh conditions, have long been a place of both wonder and danger. In the winter of 1959, a group of 9 experienced hikers set out on an expedition that would end in tragedy and leave behind a mystery that has puzzled the world for decades. These 9 hikers, led by Igor Dyatlov, were all students or graduates of the Ural Polytechnic Institute. They were well prepared and experienced in long ski tours and mountain expeditions. Their goal was to reach Otorten, a mountain 10 kilometers north of the site where the incident occurred. However, they never made it to their destination. Instead, they perished under bizarre and still unexplained circumstances. Their tent was found ripped open from the inside. This detail has led to much speculation about what could have caused such panic that the hikers would tear through their tent to escape into the freezing night. The tent, half buried in snow, was discovered by a search party on February 26, 1959, more than 3 weeks after the hikers' last communication. Footprints in the snow suggested a panicked flight. The tracks indicated that the hikers had left the tent barefoot or in socks, despite the freezing temperatures. The footprints led down the slope towards the edge of a nearby forest, but they did not show signs of a struggle or pursuit, adding to the mystery of why the hikers fled so suddenly. Some bodies were found partially clothed. Others bore horrific injuries. The first 2 bodies, those of Yuri Doroshenko and Yuri Krivonishenko, were found at the forest's edge, near the remains of a small fire. They were shoeless and dressed only in their underwear. As the search continued, more bodies were discovered at varying distances from the tent, some with severe internal injuries but no external wounds, as if they had been subjected to a forceful impact. This is the story of the Dyatlov Pass incident, a puzzle that has baffled investigators and captivated the world for decades. Despite numerous investigations, including a Soviet criminal investigation, the exact cause of the hikers' deaths remains unknown. Theories range from an avalanche to secret military tests, to more outlandish explanations involving extraterrestrial encounters or paranormal activity. The incident took place on the eastern slopes of Kholat Syakhl, a mountain whose name translates to Dead Mountain in the language of the indigenous Mansi people. The Mansi, who have lived in the region for centuries, consider the mountain to be a place of danger and death. This ominous name seemed to foreshadow the tragedy that would befall the hikers. The Mansi people have their own legends and stories about the mountain, which they believe is cursed. Some have speculated that the hikers may have disturbed a sacred site or angered the spirits of the mountain, leading to their untimely deaths. The event remains unexplained to this day, despite numerous investigations and countless theories. Over the years, many researchers and enthusiasts have tried to piece together what happened on that fateful night. Some believe that a sudden avalanche forced the hikers to flee their tent, while others suggest that infrasound, caused by wind passing over the mountain, induced panic and disorientation. Yet none of these theories fully explain the strange and varied injuries found on the bodies. It stands as a stark reminder of the unforgiving power of nature and the enduring mysteries that lie hidden in the world. The Dyatlov Pass incident continues to fascinate and haunt those who hear its story. It serves as a testament to the bravery and determination of the hikers, as well as a sobering reminder of the unpredictable and often perilous forces of nature. As we continue to explore and seek answers, the mystery of Dyatlov Pass remains a poignant and enigmatic chapter in the annals of history. The group, led by Igor Dyatlov, was composed of 10 young people, 8 men and 2 women. They were a close-knit team, bound by their shared love for the great outdoors and the thrill of adventure. Each member had a unique background and story, but they all shared a common goal: to conquer the challenging terrain of the Ural Mountains. They were all experienced skiers and hikers, students or recent graduates of the Ural Polytechnic Institute. This institution was known for its rigorous academic programs and its encouragement of physical fitness and outdoor activities. The group had honed their skills through numerous previous expeditions, making them well prepared for the journey ahead. United by their passion for adventure, they embarked on a challenging expedition into the Ural Mountains. The Ural Mountains, with their rugged beauty and treacherous paths, were both a dream and a test for these young adventurers. They knew the risks involved, but were driven by the promise of discovery and the sheer joy of exploration. Their goal was to reach Otorten, a mountain located in the northern Urals. Otorten, which means "don't go there" in the indigenous Mansi language, was a peak shrouded in mystery and local legends. The name itself was a warning, but for the Dyatlov group, it was a challenge they were eager to face. The group had meticulously planned their expedition. They had spent weeks studying maps, planning their route, and gathering the necessary supplies. Every detail was considered, from the food they would eat to the equipment they would need to survive the harsh conditions. They were well equipped and prepared for the harsh winter conditions of the Ural Mountains. Their gear included heavy-duty tents, warm clothing, and enough food to last the entire trip. They also carried cameras and journals to document their journey, hoping to share their experiences with others upon their return. Each member brought their unique skills and knowledge to the group, fostering a strong sense of camaraderie. There was Zina Kolmogorova, known for her resilience and leadership, Rustem Slobodin, an experienced athlete, and Yuri Yudin, who had a deep understanding of the terrain. Together, they formed a team that was not only skilled but also deeply connected. Little did they know that their adventure would take a sinister turn, leaving an enduring mark on history. As they set off, spirits were high, and the future seemed bright. But the Ural Mountains held secrets that would soon unravel, leading to one of the most mysterious and tragic events in the history of exploration. The Dyatlov Pass incident would become a story of intrigue, speculation, and unanswered questions, forever haunting the memories of those who knew them and captivating the imaginations of those who would hear their tale. The hikers set off on January 23, 1959. Their journey took them through dense forests and over snow-covered passes. They documented their adventure with diaries and cameras, capturing their excitement and the beauty of the wilderness. On January 31st, the group arrived at the foothills of Dead Mountain. They established a base camp on a slope, preparing for their final ascent. However, they never reached their destination. When they failed to arrive at their designated endpoint, a search party was organized. The mystery of their disappearance gripped the nation, prompting a massive search and rescue effort in the vast wilderness. Weeks later, the search party stumbled upon a chilling sight. The forest, blanketed in snow, was eerily silent, save for the crunching of boots and the occasional bark of search dogs. The air was thick with tension as the team pressed on, their breath visible in the frigid air. The hiker's tent was found abandoned and partially buried in the snow. It stood as a stark reminder of the harsh conditions the group had faced. The tent, once a shelter, now looked like a ghostly relic of a tragic event. It had been cut open from the inside, as if the occupants had fled in terror. The cuts were jagged and desperate, suggesting a frantic attempt to escape something unseen. The question lingered: what had driven them to such a state of panic? Footprints in the snow, some barefoot and some wearing only socks, led away from the tent. The trail of footprints painted a haunting picture of the hikers' last moments. The fact that some were barefoot in such extreme cold was baffling and hinted at a sudden, irrational flight. The hikers had abandoned their belongings, including food, supplies, and most of their clothing, suggesting a hasty and desperate escape. Scattered around the site were items that spoke of a journey interrupted. A half-eaten meal, a journal left open, and personal effects strewn about haphazardly. As the search continued, the bodies of the hikers were found scattered across the mountainside. The discovery was both heartbreaking and perplexing. Each body told a different part of the story, yet none provided a clear answer. Some were found lying together under a large cedar tree, as if seeking shelter or comfort in their final moments. The tree, with its wide branches, offered a semblance of protection, but it was clear that it had not been enough. While others were discovered further down the slope, these bodies were more isolated, suggesting that in their final moments, the group had become separated, each person facing their own struggle against the elements and whatever unseen force had driven them from their tent. The state of the bodies only deepened the mystery. Some were found in positions that suggested they had succumbed to the cold, while others appeared to have been in the midst of some frantic activity when they met their end. Some showed signs of hypothermia, their hands and feet frostbitten, their faces contorted in pain. The bitter cold had clearly taken its toll, but it did not explain the full extent of the tragedy. But others had severe internal injuries, including fractured skulls and broken ribs. These injuries were perplexing, as they seemed to have been inflicted with great force, yet there were no external wounds to indicate a struggle or attack. Strangely, there were no external wounds to match these injuries. The lack of visible trauma only added to the enigma, leaving investigators to wonder what kind of force could cause such damage without leaving a mark. The scene painted a picture of chaos and violence, but the cause remained elusive. The search team, seasoned and experienced, was left baffled by the evidence before them. The scattered belongings, the inexplicable injuries, and the sheer terror that seemed to have gripped the hikers all pointed to a nightmarish scenario that defied explanation. As they stood amidst the snow and silence, the weight of the mystery pressed heavily upon them, a chilling reminder of the unknown forces that can lurk in the wilderness.